Sometimes, I know I and these guys will all tell you, you put a camera in front of me and sometimes it's not really real, as it's like I'm in this imaginary world, and then I just go off and start coming up with voices and accents, and it has absolutely
That's the
nothing
first
to
step
do.
to improvement.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm growing up, buddy. Growing up.
Admitting
Yeah.
it.
Big step you took today.
Hi, I'm AJ.
I'm a weirdo.
And I love attention. Thank you.
Well said.
No, yeah, hopefully we can go back and really go through with like a fine-tooth comb and try to find some really awesome gag reel type stuff to show you guys, because
AJ, tell them something that they don't know.
I honestly can't think of anything.
Okay, well, our last question.
One more.
Wait, do you have something?
One more.
So sorry. Yeah, one more right
No,
here.
just pick one.
Right here in the front.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Cristiane from Rio, Brazil.
Hello.
And I would like to know the biggest dream you had, apart from being a successful boy band, like which was the biggest dream you had in life that you could realize because you became the Backstreet Boys?
Biggest dream.
Yeah, the biggest personal dream, like this. Like my biggest dream in life was like becoming fluent in English, and like this is a really big dream come true, because now I can see that all my effort like was worth it, because I can understand everything. I hope you can understand me.
Yeah. Very well, actually.
And I always
Congratulations.
yeah, and I always wondered that, like, wow, they were always dreaming of becoming a successful boy band, but which was the other dream? Like, it's the dream, and like, wow, I got it.
That
Thank
we
you.
got as well.
Yes.
Okay.
What did being Backstreet Boys cause us to fulfill other things in life? Translation. In Portuguese. Sorry, that was my bad English.
Well,
Stump.
I always wanted to get my pilot's license and fly. And I got to fly with the Blue Angels in a F-18 Hornet over San Diego through the desert, and this amazing dude, amazing pilot in there with me. Yeah, I did throw up. No, not twice, just once.
I saw the video. He's got the bag, and they teach you to push your feet down on the ground, right? Don't you flex your legs to try to keep the blood?
They teach
from
you
rushing?
to do the hook maneuver, which is you hold your breath in, and
Yeah.
when you're flying at like 400 miles an hour, and then you just go like that. The G-forces
Happens
come
to
down
blood.
on your body, and you have to keep the blood in your brain, so you kind of grunt like, you know, like you're on the body.
Constipated.
It's funny because I've seen the video, and Kevin's mask is like here, black, and all I'm hearing in my head is. And you see him every so often, he goes. And then he goes like this, he goes. But it's cool. I wouldn't do it, so I'm pretty proud.
You can never get me to do it either, for sure. I
That
would
was
never.
awesome. And the reason I threw up is because I didn't eat before.
Dude, that's even
the
worse.
pilot's like, you should have eten something. You need something in your stomach.
Yeah, so you can really
Like
paint
dry-
the entire casing with vomit.
You need
Sign your
something
name
in your stomach so it can be. Yeah.
Sign your name in the glass.
That was awesome. It was like being in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini in the sky. It was amazing.
I know for me, growing up, I was a huge David Copperfield fan. Out of all magicians, he was the one that I always wanted to take, see or meet. And fortunately, after becoming a Backstreet Boy and, making some connections along the way, some friends of mine actually hooked me up for my birthday, and I got to go see him. And
congratulations. I think they loved your documentary.
Did you guys like it? Whoa, both rocking. Was it emotional?
I just felt the minute you sat down, I was like, whoa, wow.
Was it like everything you expected? Was there like a lot of highs and a lot of lows? Was it emotional? Did anybody cry? A bunch of babies.
Hey Howie, I have to confess, I was watching
wow.
back there, and the story about Kevin's dad, man, I was back there crying. I've seen it before.
It was.
So I apologize if I get a little emotional.
I'm sorry, but I can't stop staring at Kevin. Take it back, bro. Look at that. Another Kevin Cam dress.
That is beautiful. Y'all
That's
did lovely.
That's pretty awesome. Nice.
And it's recyclable.
All right, we're gonna start with the first question right there.
Hello.
I wanted to ask Nick about going back to school, because we didn't see that in the clip, but you know, we've seen other little clips about it and how it affected you to see where you went to school and seeing some of your old teachers and stuff.
I didn't, when we were filming it, I didn't think it would affect me as much as it actually did. And I think it's probably because I blocked a lot of it out of my life, you know, tried to always push forward and kind of forget some of the things that, you know, were a lot harder in my life. But then when I got there, it was like, I had to face reality. I had to face things. For me, it was like, I don't know if the guys felt the same way, but for me, it was like I was forced to kind of relive a part of my life that really was hard for me. And, you know, you kind of see that. But, you know, obviously, for all of us, I think seeing our teachers, it's nice to know where, you know, when you go back and you see where you came from, you know, that actually helps you remember a lot about yourself, you know, and, you know, the things that were good about, you know, and where you came from in a lot of ways. So I think it was a learning experience, and it was something that, for all of us, I think, it taught us something. But it was definitely emotional, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't think I would be that affected by it.
You did good. I'm sorry, but watching that thing go back and forth is freaking me out right now. I'm looking at you guys, I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh my God. Wow.
All right, the next question back there with Michelle.
Hi. What?
Hi.
Oh, hi.
There's a pole blocking you, sorry.
I know.
Much better.
What was the hardest thing that each of you had to reveal during the documentary?
Had to reveal?
Keep some a secret, guys.
We don't want to give the whole film away. All the little.
I don't want to say that this is giving anything away, but I mean, there's, you know, obviously everybody knows about what we went through with Lou and that whole fiasco, but I think no one's ever really heard it from the horse's mouth. You've heard bits and pieces from what the media has told you, from maybe one or two of us, but to really hear each of our individual opinions and how it affected us individually, because it did suck. I mean, you know, Lou was a huge, huge part of our career, of our life. It's what started everything. And then for that to be kind of not taken away from us, but just to learn about all the lies and all the bullshit and everything that came from someone that we all looked up to was really hard. And I think that's something that no one really knows about it, like the real truth coming from all of us. But I mean, there is a lot of things throughout the whole film that you'll see from each of us that are personal things that you don't know about us. I mean, obviously, being a diehard Backstreet Boy fan, we know that you guys know pretty much everything about us. But you will learn a lot from this film that you don't know, which is what makes it such a great film. So, hopefully you enjoy it in its entirety.
Right back there with Sean.
from what we have seen so far, we could see that you got together and each one of you had the chance to revive something from your past and together and share a lot of things. I would like to know if somehow did it change the way that you saw the other one? I know your interactions or your relationship or the respect you had to each one of you that you had from the other, something like that.
I think going back to each of our hometowns, I think that actually gave us a new perspective on each of us. I think it helped. Sometimes, we looking back on it, we've been together now 20 years, but there was, way more than 20 years of life before that. And for each of us, some even more. Well, Kevin, you were 21, you started. Nick was less, so 12 years for him.
Infant.
But what I'm getting at is that I think it helped us understand sometimes the little things.
Sorry, I got sand in my nose from earlier.
It helped us understand the little things, maybe some of the good things and the bad things of why each of our characters are the way we are. If you can kind of understand that, like by saying, like now I understand why AJ sneezes all the time, because
My shoulder's wet.
he came from a house that had a lot of mold. So
He's actually allergic to Howie's voice.
Oh, sorry, dude.
it's a hoarse voice, that's for
Listen,
sure.
that's why in blocking, when we're on stage dancing, you'll notice that Howie and AJ are not a whole lot. They're not close by each other. I mean, that's honest to God.
Gotta keep them away from each other.
I have Claritin with me.
Sorry, Howie. Sorry. It's you, man. We did do the whole slip and slide thing together today, so that's why I started it.
Bolai.
I gotta say something. For me, it was cool to go to Brian's school because we've heard, well, not for him, but because when you hear we've heard these stories, for years. We'll talk about them, and then you can only in your own imagination sort of make up what you think actually happened. But then when you go there, so we were able to see those things the same time that you were able to see them, in the movie and live this. So it was really cool to see those things kind of come to life. Like his teacher, his classroom, Kevin's camp, the church, like AJ's school, that was amazing as well. Howie's house, and just like all these things. We were living it at the same time that you are seeing it. So it's pretty real. So.
Next question will be shown in the back.
It's actually a little more real than we wanted it to be. But here it is.
Hi guys.
Hey.
I'm Bianca. Nice to see you for the millionth time. So I actually was one of the lucky ones that got to see the full thing, and I won't reveal anything, but I will say that it really evoked a lot of memories over the last 19 years of my life that I wasn't expecting or were kind of closeted or just kind of like moments that paralleled what you guys were going through, where I was a teenager and graduating high school and college and everything else in between. And I'm wondering, and actually the first time I met a lot of people on this cruise was on Howie's DLF cruise 10 years ago. So yeah. And I'm wondering, of the memories that kind of got dredged up from doing the documentary, which one stuck out the most? And I think we touched on this a little bit earlier, so I don't want to have you guys reveal anything, but something that you just really didn't expect that you were going to think about that suddenly became a thing.
I just think it's cool, like, all of us keeping so much archive footage from our families, from each other. I mean, as we were making the film, each of us would be like, oh man, I think I have that same video in better quality, or that same audio file in better quality, and we would go find it. And seeing some of that old stuff back with Johnny Wright, all that stuff, the middle school tours, and just seeing all that stuff, it's mind-blowing. And now, like, for me personally, getting to obviously she's still too young, but like my little girl likes to watch all of our videos, and she knows, she can't say each of our names the best, but she knows, like if I say, "Where's Howie?" she'll point at Howie. Although there was a vintage T-shirt that a fan gave me from our first tour, and I was like, "Ava, which one's Daddy? Is this Daddy? Yes. Is this Daddy? Yes." Everybody was Daddy. I was like, "Rochelle, we have a little talk. This could be the end of Backstreet Boys right now. Tell me right now." No, but to be able to share that with our kids and like show, I'm sure these guys, because they've got, you know, kids that are older, they've been able to show their, you know, boys, this is what Daddy, you know, used to do. It still does. I know seeing Mason see his dad perform for the first time at Good Morning America, he got really emotional. That whole emotional Richardson thing that happens a lot. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
But it was funny because he was like, remember he was like, "Do you want to see the show?" And then you said from your son's perspective of what he thought. Remember?
Oh yeah. Well, to wrap up what you said, he was freaked out at Good Morning America. He got freaked out and started crying. But then at the end, he loved it and was taking pictures with the girls. But when we were in rehearsal, he was sitting in the, we were at Irvine in the amphitheater. He was sitting in the audience with Tone, and he was watching our choreography, and he leaned over to Tony, he's like, "Are they together? Are they doing that together?" And Tone was like, "No, but they're supposed to." And he's like, "Mason has an eye. He noticed you guys weren't together. You weren't synced up on your choreography."
Just like Daddy.
Sit on the bus.
He's all,
and play video games.
he's like, "Dad, I already earned my keep. I'm good.
Yeah, cool.
Once was enough."
Cool.
All right,
But
next
yeah.
question's up at the top.
Hi guys, I'm Stephanie. My question is that we heard a song on the documentary that we haven't heard before that didn't make the album. So where do songs that you've written that don't make the album, where do those go? And
A hidden vortex.
You go onto YouTube.
Whenever you want to hear them, you just go on
Basically,
YouTube.
yeah.
They're there.
We're actually creating a soundtrack for the movie as well. So there will be some songs.
I never saw that
Yeah.
coming. That sounds.
We also would love to maybe, even though you guys have probably everything that has been on YouTube and whatnot, but we would hopefully down the road maybe like to do an unreleased album. Obviously, we may go back and tweak a couple things or have things remastered, but there has been so many songs that we've been really fortunate to either get from writers or that we've written that never saw the light of day. So we want to, you know, share that with you guys properly, not on YouTube, in a full package deal.
Okay, next question.
Hi, my name is Hannah. First of all, I wanted to thank you, Kevin, for sharing the story about your father. My mother actually died from leukemia in 2007, and we shared you guys. That was a big thing that we shared together. She actually went to meet you guys with me for the first time back in like 2001. So I was just wondering, like, what was something that all of you shared with your close people to you? Like, I shared you guys with my mom, because you guys are awesome and you just mean so much to me because of her.
Thank you.
You just wanted to share that with us, or you want to know if some of us have some more stuff to
I was
share?
really wondering what like close memories you guys have with your family or loved ones.
Gotcha.
Thank you for the translation. Appreciate you.
So yours with your mother was when you first met us, right?
They're figuring it out together.
Like some great memories that I have of other family members, like the first University of Kentucky football game that I ever went to. I went with my papa, Brian and my grandfather, and I was like 7 years old. So now ever since then I've been hooked. I'm a big Cats fan. So yeah, stuff like that. Is that what we're talking about?
No,
Yes, Kevin, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you wanted us to
Good
share.
job.
What she asked. Good job, Kevin.
Yeah,
Good
we
answer.
have it up.
No, I mean,
You were the bride.
for me, my grandmother was my everything. She took me to my first audition when I was 4. You know, I grew up in musical theater, all that stuff, modeling, which was really weird. But I saw my first breasts when I was 5. It was awesome. And everything's downhill from there for me. No, but yeah, she was my biggest inspiration, and I know she's super proud looking down and, you know, knowing that I never gave up. You know, I kept doing what I love to do, because to be honest, I really don't know how to do much else. I mean, I just learned how to do my own laundry about 2 years ago. It's pretty sad. So this is what I love, and it's all because of her. So
I was gonna also say, in this documentary, like I say, we had the chance to go to each of our hometowns, and we got so much footage from that. There are so many things that this actual, the final version that you'll see that's gonna come out the end of January, theatrical release in the States, and then in February, everywhere else, Europe and everywhere else. But from that, it was very hard. We had about, I think, like 6 to 8 different takes different edits that we got down to this final version. But just recently, a couple of days ago, we all approved some extra footage, some bonus footage for the DVD, which is gonna be really cool because it's, like I said, there was just so much great stuff that we just couldn't fit all in just, you know, within 2 hours. Or probably would have been like 5 hours. Probably you guys would have been bored as hell. But there's a lot of great stuff. So definitely get the DVD as well.
Yeah, the first edit was 3 hours, and then we got it down to 2 hours. But all that good stuff we had to shave off will be on the DVD.
I was gonna share something really fast. My dad worked at IBM for like 33 and a half years. And every day he would work under like this 2,500-pound ink machine. That's when ink existed. And so every day he'd come back from work and he would get home about, I don't know, about 13 minutes after 5 every day. And I would be coming in from school, I have to do my homework right away. I'd watch DuckTales or something like that. And then every time I'd sit by the door and I'd wait for him, and he'd come in and he'd take his steel-toe boots off, and he'd look down at me and he'd say, "Get your mitt." And so that's my baseball mitt. So we would go out and pass until it got dark, until Mom had dinner ready. So that's like a fond memory that as a child, and now I get to do that with my boy. So, yeah.
All right, next question.
I was really preparing
Upstairs.
to say that because I did not want to cry.
Hi guys.
I suck. I was like,
Hey guys.
it's like, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Soraya from Portugal. And I just wanted to know, we saw in the clip that you were in London for a few weeks, just yourselves, and that even after 20 years, you still were learning new things about each other. So I wanted to know what were like your favorite things about each other that you found out in your time in London.
oh damn.
Really?
It was 22
I'm gonna
days.
pass on that.
22 days.
when we got to London, actually we all got there at separate times. And we all had to pick new bedrooms. And that was the fun process. Actually,
Yeah, we were
Brian-
staying in the same house. Go ahead.
Yep. Actually, Brian and I got there first. And I was gonna let Kevin have the master room so that he just came back, he's the oldest. But Brian snuck in there and got it before him.
I was like, hell no.
Not happening on my watch.
And I was like, damn, I
Oh,
should take
dang,
it.
where's my watch at?
We found out from you over breakfast some really good news about your second little boy.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're sitting there having breakfast. These guys are having mimosas. Brian's making some kick-ass scrambled eggs and
Breakfast burritos.
breakfast burritos over here. And we had a little group prayer and a little toast, and Howie went up for a second toast, and we all just kind of looked at him and were like, oh shit, what's it gonna be? Sure enough, like that's awesome to get to experience that together as a group. You know, stuff like that's just awesome.
For me, I feel like, you know, we know each other really well, you know, almost too well sometimes. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily, I mean, I think we learned some new stuff about one another, but it really was all about just having time together, you know, with just the five of us. You know, life is moving so fast, you know, people have families now, and, you know, it becomes harder to, you know, so in a lot of ways it was like training camp, you know, you're kind of forced to go into and be together, and that's when, you know, magical things happen. And, you know, this is a bond that has, you know, withstood the test of time for the past 23, 24 years, you know, and it was important, you know, to get us back in there, especially Kevin he had just come back again, and, you know, we needed, in a lot of ways, actually, now that I think about it, we had to get to know Kevin again, in a lot of ways, you know, and so we learned that, but really it was kind of like getting on a bike again. But I do want to say something, I don't want to bring the mood down, but I got the shit end of the stick because I was I am the youngest of the group, and I got this loft, okay? I had no air conditioning, but I was very fortunate to be able to spend a lot of time because Q was right downstairs in that loft with me. So we were able to have quality time, which is what I was getting at.
Oh, don't worry. He made up for it. He had 5 maids cleaning up after him in the kitchen every day.
And
learned about each other's
Brian brought you
cleanliness.
tea. Brian brought you tea. So, yep.
We learned about each other's cooking habits, cleanliness habits, all that stuff really quickly within that week there of cooking breakfast in the mornings before going to sessions.
And 20 mornings out of 22, I woke up and Nick and I were spooning, so. Just for some reason, he found his way down, and he was like,
He wakes up,
I was like,
he's
oh.
That's a great photo for all of us to have. All right, Michelle, next
You
question.
woke up and you said, where's your hand? You said, between 2 pillows.
Between 2
You said,
friends.
those aren't pillows.
hello,
Oh. Hi.
Hi,
hola.
my name is Malou, I'm from Holland.
Hello.
And I want to ask a question. In my daily life, I'm a teacher at elementary school. And I want to ask Brian, what's your greatest memory about your time at elementary school?
Elementary school. Wow. Elementary school, I have to go back to 2nd grade, and we were doing, it was like my first play we were ever in. And we went to chorus class, and I used to sing with my parents in church all the time when I was little. And so we go to chorus class, and we're singing this song, and the chorus teacher, she looks down, and she's like, and I'm just like, soprano, me, 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 me. And she's like, hey, come here. So she calls me up, and it's a long story, but the short end is that we do a play, and I had my first solo with one of my good friends named Chris Kaywood, who is still a really good friend of mine, and he lives in Lexington. And we were paper boys, and we got to walk out across the stage, And it was just this one-time thing. And we were like, extra, extra, read all about it, songs for sale. So it was a really fond memory for me. I had great teachers that influenced my life in many, many, many amazing ways. And you guys are very underpaid and underappreciated.
Okay, 2 more questions, guys. Sorry, we have to wrap up. Sean, where are you at? All right, right at the top.
Ooh, what's up?
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Erica from Mastic Beach on New York.
Yeah. Is that Nick on your shirt?
No.
Oh.
No, that's just,
What is Nick?
what is that?
Yeah, what is
Barbie.
that?
What is it?
Barbie. Oh, Barbie with a bubble. It's a Barbie face with a bubble.
I look like a Barbie?
At one point in our career, kinda.
I know I dress up as Dorothy, but that doesn't mean I
You like.
My question is, can you guys tell us like a funny story that we didn't see, or funny moment from the film that we didn't see?
From the movie?
Yeah.
That you're not gonna